Well, away from the Westminster narratives and the spin, we do get regularly at the moment a number of local council by-elections, and I think it's important that I continue to highlight the results because they are very interesting again this week. And of course, you can't really spin election results. It shows you where the public actually are. But before I get into all of that, I must pay tribute to Ann Widdecombe, who has sadly passed away. I was lucky enough to briefly have served alongside her as a Brexit MEP. She was a real patriot, an absolutely incredible lady, principled, wise, a real force of nature. She will, of course, be greatly, greatly missed. And by way of a tribute, I'd just like to start off this video by playing this speech in the European Parliament of Ann Widdecombe, really throwing down the gauntlet. And I think you'll agree with me that this speech shows what an absolutely incredible lady and patriot she was. Rest in peace, Anne.
Half minutes for you.
Thank you, President. It's a great honour to speak on behalf of the largest single party in this place. And may I say that if I needed any convincing at all, that the best thing for Britain is to leave here as soon as possible. It was the way that those elections were conducted yesterday. Because if that is this place's idea of democracy, then that is a serious betrayal of every country that is represented here. Because it is not democratic at all. And that is just one of many reasons why Britain is right to be leaving this place, hopefully on Halloween. And it is right because there is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires. And that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going and we are glad to be going. I represent the southwest of the United Kingdom.
Piano, facciamo
And
concludere.
I found on my
Can you come to a conclusion, please?
first day that this place has decided, at least this place hasn't, the powers that be have decided to actually increase the size of fishermen's meshes, thereby reducing their income by 40%. That's what you do here. That's why we're going.
Grazie,
News
concluda.
out long, wir gehen, we're off.
Grazie.
Now, as for what is going on across the country, it's very interesting. Some polls showing that we've got a narrowing going on. However, this one recently conducted by Freshwater Strategies actually showing Reform support up with an 8-point lead over the Conservatives. No big burn and bounce in that one. And of course, more widely in our country, sadly, another example of lawless London, rioting in London, a police officer in hospital, very, very disturbing scenes. And an incoming government that's going to be led by Andy Burnham that's had virtually no scrutiny whatsoever. Indeed, it's even been reported that in terms of who the actual key players are going to be in his government, including Chancellor, we may not find out literally until the day Burnham becomes Prime Minister. And serious concerns that the country has no idea what's about to happen. We may have Ed Miliband, goodness me, as the next Chancellor after we've seen the absolute catastrophe of net zero, of course, championed by him. And this is a country, of course, mainstream media is not interested in this, it seems, but the country is crying out for a general election. The majority of people in this country want to see a general election. Only around a third actually think Burnham would lead a legitimate government administration with a mandate without holding a general election. And with all that going on, what's mainstream media focused on?
There's already a debate taking place in Parliament right now with potential representations to the Speaker, because were Count Binface to be elected as Count Binface,
yes,
your mandate is as Count Binface.
Right.
Now, under current parliamentary rules, you wouldn't be allowed to appear in the chamber like this. And there are MPs right now thinking of writing to the Speaker saying, were you to be elected, that your mandate would have to be respected and you'd have to appear in the common chamber just like this.
And let's not beat about the bush. He actually said that. It's politics in 2026. And I think your viewers are going to be thinking, my goodness me, did we all just stay up too late watching England-Mexico? We all haven't had enough sleep and it's just one giant fever dream. Maybe this is just a group hallucination. Maybe we're all in one of Christopher Nolan's Inceptions and it's a giant publicity stunt for the Odyssey. Who knows?
But the thing is, I'm just looking at...
I mean, honestly, the state of mainstream media at the moment, you really have to ask yourself, what on earth is going on?
You are seriously arguing that it was in the public interest to go to the house of Nigel Farage's daughter. That is your argument, is it?
That is not my argument. I'm simply
Well, you did just say that a minute ago.
simply saying that when
your argument
there
clearly
is
fallen apart.
No, I'm simply reading the statement
you're making
that we
the
have.
argument as to
I'm
why
not making any argument.
The political establishment, of which Sky News is clearly a part, is trying to hound Nigel Farage to try to get him to leave public life by putting pressure on his family. Well, it's not going to work.
No one's putting pressure on his family. No one is putting pressure on Nigel Farage's family. It is perfectly legitimate.
And tired old journalists like you, Adam, who have been part of that consensus for my whole life, are going to have to realise that the public are sick of this.
Listen, hang on a second. Hang on. It is.
But yeah, in terms of these local by-elections, we start off in Scotland, in Lark Hall, where there has been a Reform UK gain from Labour. That is the second local by-election win for Reform in Scotland. Reform also had, in Gateshead, a defence. And you see there, very, very close, but Reform actually holding that seat in Gateshead from a challenge from Labour. In Neath Port Talbot, you can see here, Plaid Cymru easily winning that seat, but their vote down pretty considerably there. Reform in second, and look at that Labour percentage, absolutely collapsing. The Tories totally irrelevant there, as they are in much of the country. A by-election in Cardiff, where for some reason there doesn't seem to have been a Plaid candidate. So Labour winning there. In Flintshire, you can see here, that's a Liberal Democrat hold, but a strong second there from Reform. Another example of Conservative and Labour support, fairly minimal there. And look at that Green vote, the Greens collapsing there to basically nothing. In the Vale of Glamorgan, that's a Plaid hold, their vote increasing. But again, Reform the main challenger there. Again, look at the Conservative, Labour and Green percentages there, all down very sharply indeed. You can see there a bit of a collector's item. That's a Conservative gain, with the Liberal Democrats there down sharply and Labour on virtually nothing. And this is something we're starting to see a bit more now. The Greens are losing seats locally. So in Lambeth, the Greens lost. That's a Liberal Democrat gain. And in Camden, actually a Labour gain. Blimey, that's an even rarer sight. A Labour gain from the Greens there. So I think that gives you an idea across the country as to what is going on in terms of actual votes, in terms of actual support. Please do let me know your thoughts on all that in the comments below. Please do whack this video a quick thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.